was an all-around effort for the A's last night. Newcomer Danny Valencia showed off some pop and some solid defense. But the story was Sonny Gray, who pitched his 5th career complete game and picked up his 12th win of the year. Gray and the A's even up the series with the first-place Astros. It's been 2 competitive games with the division-leading Stros, and today the green and gold will continue to disrupt the pennant race and try to finish the season strong. It's the A's and the Astros, Game 3 of 4, and it's coming up next. Saturday afternoon baseball from the HOU at OAK Coliseum. It is a beautiful day for a ball game. Series tied at a game apiece. The pants are up high for Jesse Chavez. He's going to try that and try to change his luck as we get set for Game 3 of the series. It's the Astros and the Athletics coming up on CSN California. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's baseball. Along with Eric Chavez, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Marcus Semien, we're seeing him play some pretty good baseball recently. And Eric, he's played in 110 of 111 games, and the season has not always been smooth for him. He has struggled some, but recently he's been pretty darn good.
Yeah, give him credit. He's weathered the storm, and obviously the errors are well documented, but he's really done a good job. He's making strides. He's only had 1 error in the last 22 games, and he's swinging a good bat. He's swung the bat pretty good, pretty consistently from the whole year. And, you know, it's the next 2 big months for him. They, you know, build a lot of confidence going into next season, and the A's won't have to worry about a shortstop.
Boy, wouldn't it be great if he could finish strong in these final 2 months? Now, for the Astros, they will send another 13-game winner to the mound, Colin McHugh, and he's pretty darn good, and he's pitching extremely well as of late.
Yeah, and he's done it. He's been tremendous. And what makes him so good is that curveball. And people talk about that spin rate. I just call it a good curveball. And when he gets that curveball over for strikes, it makes his fastball that he likes to throw up in the zone seem a little bit faster. And with Keuchel, Kazmir, and McHugh, it's a pretty good 1-2-3 punch.
And the A's will send Jesse Chavez to the mound. Jesse will be making his 20th start of the year. He's been struggling lately. He'll try to straighten it out this afternoon. So Game 3 of the 4-game series coming up. It's the A's and the Astros. We'll have lineups and first pitch from the Coliseum in just a moment.
For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Jesse Chavez in the Athletics take the field, all whites today. And for Jesse, the pants are pulled up very high, showing a lot of sock today. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. 67 degrees, so a nice cool afternoon at the ballpark with a nice breeze. Sunshine kind of intermittent right now, but we always like day baseball here at the Coliseum. Astros lineup for this afternoon looks like this: Jose Altuve, Carlos Gomez, Carlos Correa, very strong at the top, and then Rasmus, Gaddis, Tucker, Valbuena, Carter, and Conger.
Yes, and that lineup will be facing Jesse Chavez, 31-year-old right-hand pitcher. Will be looking to get back on track. He's 1-5 in his last 7 starts, and for the year he's 5-11. But he still has a pretty decent ERA at 3.88. Today he will be making his 20th start of the season.
The A's defense today has Coco in left, Burns in center, Reddick in right. Laurie back at third today, Simeon at short, Sogard at second, Davis at first. Stephen Vogt is behind the plate. So, you know, Eric, I think it's important for catcher-pitcher to be on the same page, obviously. In fact, everybody is trying to help out Jesse Chavez today. Pant legs are up high for Brett Laurie. As usual for Sogard. Of course, Billy Burns, he does it. But I think the best may be Stephen Vogt. He's hanging with his pitcher today. And he's got him up there. We're still,
what a
Eric
beauty.
and I are
what
not convinced that it's a great look, but they're all in it together, and that's important.
Desperate times, desperate measures.
So Altuve is ready, so is Jesse Chavez, and we're set for baseball here at the HOU Coliseum. First pitch is a bit outside. So check out Stephen Vogt. He's going the same route as Jesse Chavez. It's a good teammate right there. 2-0 to Altuve. Astros come in 61-50, a 1.5 game lead over the Angels in the AL West. Astros last night, of course, lost, and the Angels won. So Angels picked up a game, and Altuve, 3 pitches into the game, has a base hit. So that's a long at bat for Jose Altuve, 3 pitches. Man, he's tough. That's his 5th hit in the series.
Yeah, he definitely likes hitting in this park. And Jesse fell behind 2-0 and came back with a fastball, and we talked about Altuve wanting to pull everything, and he was scuffling a little bit, but he's definitely getting back on track right now.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Here's Carlos Gomez. First pitch is a strike to Gomez. Gomez in this series is 1 for 8. Those are his combined numbers between the Brewers and the Astros. He's 9 for 35 with Houston. This is his 9th game. And he's only 1 for 8 in this series, but you feel like he's had a bigger impact.
He definitely has had an impact with his speed, with his glove, with his arm.
Fouled straight back. Look at the umpires. The crew chief is also calling balls and strikes today. That is Jeff Nelson. Been around a long time. So Altuve with his 30 steals on the year. As always, the A's will keep a close eye on him. Altuve leading the league in steals with 30. Burns second with 22. Then Kane, Dyson, and DeShield. Altuve's been thrown out 9 times, so 30 for 39. Carlos Correa waits in the on-deck circle. And that one's hit high in the air, pretty well to right center. But enough room for Reddick. Altuve tags, and he goes about a third of the way to second base and then stops and gets back. And if he would have kept going, I think he would have been out. Reddick made a very nice throw back in. I'd like to see base runners do that, though, Eric. I mean, what difference does it make, right? Why not
try to force the issue?
The guy to throw it.
Force the issue. And it was a good swing right there by Carlos. Looked like he just missed it. Hit pretty deep to right. Josh able to get back there and make a good throw to second. Very good arm in right field.
So here's Carlos Correa. Correa in this series is 3 for 8, a homer, couple of RBIs. Colby Rasmus, the cleanup hitter, will be next. Another quick throw. Astros are 23 and 32 on the road, so they have had their struggles on the road this year. And they're 7 and 4 against the Athletics, 28 and 21 against the West. This is what Carlos Correa did on Thursday, and it was a big, big home run.
Yeah, fastball up. 8th inning. 20-year-old rookie playing very good defense at shortstop and doing some damage hitting the middle of the lineup.
So 2-1 now to Correa. Second shortstop with 14 or more home runs in a season at the age of 20 years or younger. And there's been some comparisons to Alex Rodriguez. Now the count 2-2. As Alex got to the big leagues at a very young age with the Seattle Mariners, just like Correa.
Yeah, I think with the comparisons, you definitely look at his height, his athletic ability, his strong arm. Just a very good, talented player. He's got all the tools in the toolbox, and great kid, good work ethic, student of the game.
Well, the media guide says 6'4", 210 pounds. So yeah, I would say that's a frame that's going to add 10, 15 pounds.
Yeah, 12 to 15, definitely. But he's definitely going to be playing shortstop for the next, 5, 6, 7 years. And if he gets any bigger, he can move over to third.
Check swing, and now a full count. Altuve's been dancing around at first, but he has yet to take off towards second base. Sure he will here with the count 3-2, 1 out. Outfield shifted toward right center. There goes, and the pitch is a ball. Outside of the hand of Vogt, but it wouldn't have mattered. Pitch was called a ball, and there's 2 on and 1 out for Rasmus. Seemed like a pretty close pitch.
In the 4th position, right fielder, number 28.
Yeah, it's a cutter. He tries to front door the cutter, and it was a good pitch. I don't know what Jeff was thinking right there. That was a painted pitch on the inside part of the plate. Maybe when Steven popped up, maybe it blocked his view a little bit, but that was a really good pitch by Jesse.
So our first inning rally for the Astros as Rasmus bounces one just foul, backhanded by Ike Davis. Rasmus 234, 13 home runs, 38 runs batted in. He's 1 for 8 in this series. 279 average with runners in scoring position. Youngster. the speed on the bases. Good pitch there. So now 0-2.
Comes back with a fastball in the inside part of the plate. Right there.
Jesse Chavez ahead in the count. The 0-2 pitch. Close, but a bit outside.
And that pitch could have gone either way. Just missed. Looked like he went to that backdoor cutter again and just backed up on him a little bit. Pretty good pitch right there, though.
So a couple of close pitches going against Jesse Chavez in the first inning. Simeon playing right at second base. He's actually holding on to Altuve. Pitch that was up, an off-speed pitch. Rasmus fouled it back.
Yeah, we're talking about Steven kind of maybe blocking the view of Jeff, the home plate umpire. And you know, when you were young, they told you get big, give the big target to the pitcher. But really, at this level, you want to be small. You want to give him as many lanes as possible to see the pitch. And that pitch down is the toughest one for those guys to call.
Slowly hit. Sogar charges. His only play will be at first base, so they get Rasmus there. Runners move up to second and third, so Gaddis will have a chance to knock in a run or two.
Batting in the fifth position, designated hitter, number 11, Evan Gaddis.
Gaddis with 60 RBIs on the year. That is most on the team for the Astros. Gaddis in this series is 0 for 7, so the A's have been able to keep him quiet through the first couple games. He forgot to load up on seeds before he walked in the batter's box, so they must be important to him. Otherwise,
takes the nerves away a little bit.
Right.
Distracts you just enough.
Simeon gets a big hop, throws wide, and Davis reaches up to catch it, gets his foot back down on the bag, side retired. So a couple of runners stranded for the Astros. We'll go to the bottom of the first. No score.
Introducing the new Corona can. Find your baseball.
Lineup looks like this. Burns, Crisp, Reddick. Valencia will DH today. Vogt, Laurie, Davis, Simeon, and Sogar.
Yeah, and the A's will be facing Colin McHugh, the 28-year-old righty. He's had a very good year, tied for the lead in wins, and that's with his teammate Dallas Keuchel, both having 13. His ERA is 4.27, a little high, but he's pitched much better than the ERA would tell you. He's got 4 pitches, but his best pitch is his curveball, and he likes to elevate his fastball.
Here's your defense. Astros have Tucker, Gomez, Rasmus in the outfield. Valbuena's at third today, and then Correa, Altuve, and Carter around the infield with Conger doing the catching. So Burns steps in. And the first pitch. Spit outside.
Tight zone.
Yes.
Tight zone today. Be patient, hitters.
And that one called a strike. Same pitch. So 1-1 the count. Burns is 2 for 8 in the series. A couple of RBIs. Facing Colin McHugh, who's been on quite a roll for the Astros. He's won 4 consecutive starts. Beat the Rangers, the Red Sox, the Angels, and the Diamondbacks. Most wins since August 1st of last year. He's got the most.
Yeah.
Breakout season last year for McHugh.
Yeah, Keuchel kind of takes the headlines, but McHugh's done a really good job.
Pitch is high, and Burns with a walk. 18th walk of the year for Burns.
Batting in the second position, left fielder, number 4.
So here's Coco Chris. So McHugh immediately into the stretch. McHugh started last year in AAA, but on April 22nd he was called up, put immediately into the rotation, and he ended up last year going 11-9 with a 2.73 ERA, and he made 25 starts. So he has carried that into this year. He's a 13-game winner.
He's got to get Coco going here. It's been a tough year with some injuries for Coco, coming off the DL not too long ago. You can kind of tell he's pressing. I mean, he wants to help this team win and get back on track, and it's been somewhat frustrating for him this year.
He's 5 for 61 on the season. Oh for 8 in this series.
Sometimes the harder you try, the worse you get.
Burns with a good lead. It's outside, so 2-0. Valbuena, the third baseman, is well in on the grass.
Yeah, I was talking last inning about the view from the catcher, the umpire giving him the lane to see, but also what's being talked about now is pitch framing. And Conger's one of the best in the game at the pitch framing.
That one called a strike. I think Coco maybe trying to give Billy Burns an opportunity to run. See, that's nothing more than just a show, Bun. He's not really. He's really thinking about doing it.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do in the 2-hole, though. That's your job.
With 22 steals, he's been thrown out 5 times. Not running, and there's a strike, and now it's 2-2. Reddick in the on-deck circle. Burns not running, and it's rolled foul. So it's some point you would think Burns would take off. Heads up in the dugout. Do what you got to do.
I don't know that you want to take a swing at that ball right there. He could have hit one of his teammates.
Burns goes, and the pitch is a little bit high, and Burns is safe at second base. So the count goes full.
Yeah, and he was really wanting to go this whole at bat. He was leaning. He was just trying to get him timed up. Maybe kind of distracted Coco just a little bit. He had a great job. No chance for Conger to throw him out. Dives in there safely. Yeah, as a hitter, you'd prefer the runner to go earlier in the count, but like I said, in the 2-hole, that's kind of your job. Take some pitches.
Coco lays off, and the A's have 2 on and nobody out. So McHugh opens the bottom of the first by walking first 2 hitters.
Batting in third position.
A high walk guy, usually right around the plate.
Yeah, he's got a very good strikeout to walk ratio too. So just struggling with the field just a little bit. That curveball's the pitch for him. You know, if he can establish that curveball, throw it for a strike, elevate the fastball, and then come back with that curveball down out of the zone, is the combination that he's looking for.
So here's Reddick, 281 with 13 home runs and 58 runs batted in. This one foul left side. McHugh pitched against the A's back on the 15th of April, and he was very good. In fact, he struck out 11 in 5 2/3 innings. This is only double-digit strikeout performance this year. In the air, Tucker toward the line, fair territory, and he grabs it. So Reddick is retired for the first out. So this was his second start of the year, and it was in Houston, and he had it going. Astros won the game 6-1. He also made a start last year early in the season against the A's. That was the first time the A's had seen him, and he pitched into the 9th inning. So his first 2 starts against the A's have been very good, including that one on the 15th of April.
Yeah, he really had that curveball working. Baseball's talking about spin rate these days, and what that means is he's got good depth on his curveball. Good spin. You can see it starts at the top of the zone and looks good as a hitter and falls out of the zone, but he's got a good curveball.
So higher the spin rate, better the curveball. Is it that simple?
That's what they're saying, yes.
You don't sound convinced.
Well,
because you're not a math major, and neither am I, right?
No.
If it spins a lot, it's breaking more, maybe.
Yeah, and
something like that.
It's no difference than this guy's got a curveball, a good curveball, or this guy doesn't. That's all it means.
Simplify. The old eye test, right?
That's it.
2-0 to Danny Valencia. There's a shot, base hit right center field. Burns is going to score. Here comes Coco. Gags is waving him home, and Coco will score. It's a 2-run double for Danny Valencia, and the A's lead 2-0.
Danny swinging a really hot bat right now. Last night had the 2 hits, a homer to left, a single to right, and he's looked really comfortable since coming over here. It looked like McHugh went with the cutter away. Danny with a good approach stays on it, drives it in the gap. We got speed on the bases. Coco scores easily from first. And we talked about this last night, and I think we got to give this guy a chance the next few months and see what type of numbers he can put up. He's had a pretty good year this year.
So the 2 walks both come in to score. And here's Vogt. Check out Gags. That's why they made an action figure out of him. So 0-1 to Stephen Vogt. Vogt hitting .260 with 15 home runs and 60 RBIs. Got a home run in the series. Shift is on for Vogt. It's a little pop-up. Altuve backs up. Altuve grabs it for the second out.
Batting in the sixth position, third baseman, number 15, Brett Lawrie.
So Lawrie will hit, looking for a 2-out base hit. Lawrie 2 for 7 in the series. Overall hitting .270. 10 home runs, 45 RBIs. Brett Lawrie probably looking forward to the A's next road trip. He will be going back to Toronto. He began his career. Not going to be that much fun playing the Blue Jays right now, but first inning blues for Colin McHugh. Blue Jays won again today. They beat the Yankees 6-0 behind David Price. So the Yankees lead in the East is now 2.5 over the hard-charging Blue Jays, who have won 7 in a row.
They're getting hot at the right time.
Boy, they have. It's really early game play today.
They made it. They made the big moves too with Tulo, adding David Price, and they're going for it. They see the window. The division isn't that good, and it's a winnable division. So
Tulowitzki hit a home run today. They hit a couple every day, it seems like. A's will be there Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 2 night games and a day game. Two the count to Lawrie. Close pitch. Jeff Nelson may have thought about calling it a strike.
Well, as a hitter, you're just looking for consistency, and it looks like a pretty good pitch. Maybe just gets around the plate just a little bit. Very good pitch, though. Brett getting called.
3-2 is hit high in the air and foul right side. It is a tight strike zone today, in the early going at least. See if that changes. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Lawrie at .370 average. Tough first inning for Colin McHugh. On the ground, Valbuena makes a nice play, throws across, and they just get the hustling Lawrie side retired. But Danny Valencia with a 2-run double. So after 1 inning from the Coliseum, it's the A's 2 and the Astros nothing. can put those to good use. Tucker, Valbuena, and Carter, 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Stros. Preston Tucker playing left field, 262 is his average. 10 home runs, 28 RBIs.
Yeah, and I was talking to the hitting coach for the Astros, Dave Hudgens, who's been here, with this organization, the Oakland A's, for a long time. Great man. And I said, what is it about your lineup that is so good? And he goes, the ability to hit home runs from 1 through 9. And you got Tucker down here, and then you have Valbuena coming up with 21 homers.
Yeah, how about Chris Carter hitting 8?
Chris Carter hitting 8. I mean, you got guys that can hit the ball out of the park. You're going to be in a lot of ball games. And we talked about the strikeouts, maybe a little bit high, but when Jed Lowry came back, and then with Correa, the strikeouts have gotten a little bit better, and they seem to have be given better at bats up there. So we'll see if that continues for the next 2 months.
Yeah, they really do have a guy in every spot in the lineup that is a legitimate home run hitter. I'm not talking about maybe 35 a year, but I'm talking of a guy who could hit 15, 20. Hank Conger, who's the 9th place hitter and does not play every day. In fact, he probably plays a third of the games. He's got 8.
Yeah. Him and Castro have really been a good partnership this year.
Valbuena's got 21. There's Hank Conger.
Yeah, we saw Valbuena yesterday. Sonny made a pretty good pitch on a fastball landing kind of off the plate, and Valbuena turned on it. I'd stay away from him. He looks like he's wanting to pull everything to the right side of the field.
See Lowry playing right at the shortstop spot. 3-1 pitch and a good one. 3-2.
Yeah, come back with that same pitch right there.
And there's the walk. So second walk issued by Jesse Chavez. Then that gets us to our forward right choice. Last night, fun night in Sonny Gray. It was fun to watch. His 3rd complete game this season. Picked up his 12th win. He finished it in 9 innings, folks. 5 hits, a run, no walks, 5 strikeouts, and only 107 pitches. And Eric, I think you said it best. In the 7th, 8th, 9th inning, the way he was just cruising along, it looked like he could have thrown 5 more innings.
Yeah, he really had it going yesterday, and it looked easy for him.
He did not really have a high stress inning, and that allowed him to just cruise along. A legitimate Cy Young candidate is Sonny Gray. In fact, could probably make the argument he may be the top candidate right now in a good group. Two and 1 the count to Chris Carter. Our first look at him in this series. 17 home runs, 47 RBIs. Carter hitting just 181. So we all know the power of Chris Carter. Last year, 227 the average, but 37 home runs and 88 RBIs. The year before that, 223 but 29 home runs.
Yeah, and these guys are hard to figure out. You got Valbuena hitting 220, but he's got the 21 homers, and Chris too. He's got a lot of strikeouts, and I think it could be somewhat frustrating, but hand-eye coordination. You look at Altuve, he could just put the barrel on any pitch, and it's a skill.
There's a shot to center, and that's a base hit. Valbuena to second, and he stops there. So a 1-out rally for the Astros.
Yeah, and this pitch looked to be up a little bit with a fastball. Looked like a cutter, had cutter spin on it, up out of the zone. He threw a pitch right down the middle, and Chris swung right through it, and this was a better pitch and put the barrel on it.
Number 16, Hank Conger.
So here is the 9th place hitter, Conger, with Altuve in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, and already these first 2 innings for Jesse have not been easy. They're making him work. They've had some action on the bases already. He's just missing with location. Stuff not as crisp as it was about a month ago.
Conger slightly out in front. I don't think I've ever seen a foul ball go up there. Certainly not from a left-handed hitter. It was to the back of the second level, but that second level is back quite a ways off the field.
Looked like that pitch was underneath his chin.
If he doesn't hit it, it hits him. So 0-1 to Conger. Conger, a switch hitter. Batting right-handed, 156. Batting left-handed, 350. Sogard spins, fires to second for one, back to first, double play, and Conger comes up limping. I think he might have stepped a little bit on Ike Davis. So it's a 4-6-3 double play, and the Astros do not score. Conger kicked the ankle of Ike Davis. Now that's going to hurt, and that hurt both guys, but it can't be that great of a feeling for Ike Davis either.
No, incidental contact. I think both parties are okay.
Conger limped just for a little bit. But everybody's okay. See, they're checking on each other.
My bad, man. My bad.
Davis 240, 3 homers, 20 RBIs. Davis, Simeon, and Sogard here in the bottom of the second. 27 pitches in that first inning for Colin McHugh. And he got himself in trouble by walking the first 2 hitters, and they both scored. This one looped foul. It's past the A's dugout. A's come in with a 49-62 record. Trying to get out of the cellar. They're 2.5 games behind Seattle. So it may not be pretty, but that's something to shoot for. Get out of the cellar.
Play for something.
Yeah. Pick something. A's are 25-34 at home. They're 22-25 against the West, and as we mentioned, the Astros lead the season series 7-4. Astros will come back here one more time. A's will go to Houston one more time. And 2 pitches inside.
Yeah, as a player, you know, down in the division this much and 2 months left to go, I mean, you pretty much know you're out of it, but you got to fight that feeling of throwing in the towel and be professional, come and play every day.
So Davis is called out on strikes. First strikeout for McHugh.
Yeah, and this looks like a fastball just right down the middle. Ike just outguessing himself right there, maybe looking for a curveball. But with 2 strikes, this is, you know, what I tell all hitters and young hitters is, guys, you got to get ready to hit that fastball, and if he ends up throwing a breaking pitch, you got to just try to foul it off or take it for a ball. But this is a fastball league. You got to be able to hit the fastball to be successful in this league.
Semien takes a strike. 254, 10 homers, 28 RBIs for Semien. We spoke about him in the opening of our show. Been swinging the bat well. Defense has been better as of late. He's got 7 hits in his last 14 at bats.
Yeah, and he's had a lot of instruction with Ron Washington, obviously, but you know, now it's just confidence.
Well, he went after the high fastball there. Back-to-back strikeouts from McHugh.
Yeah, Colin comes right back with that fastball we talked about earlier in the show. He likes to elevate that fastball, and with that good curveball with the spin rate and how sharp it is, makes that fastball look a little bit faster.
You know, Shabby, we mentioned it in our open as well. This is game number 112 for the A's, and Marcus Semien has appeared in 111 of those 112 games.
Yeah.
He's had a couple days off where he's actually gotten into the game, but that's a lot of baseball for your first full year in the big leagues.
Yeah, and especially having, you know, defensively a tough year and kind of grinding through it. It's, you know, I'm sure there's plenty of nights he's gone home and hasn't slept very well, and he's fought through it. He's a good kid. He's been working hard with Wash, as we noted, and you know, they're seeing some improvement. You definitely want to see that for the next 2 months.
And just him grinding through the season is going to help him a lot in the long run.
You learn a lot about yourself when you fail.
So 1-2 to Eric Sogard, hitting .247 with 23 RBIs. Sogard 72 hits on the year, 9 doubles and a triple. Little inside to even the count. Sogard was in the lineup on Thursday, not last night. Brett Laurie slid over to play second base. May see Laurie at second, Valencia at third against left-handed pitching. That sounds like what the A's may do.
Yeah, whatever it is, you got to get Danny in there. He's swinging a hot bat.
Full count to Sogard.
You know, that's one thing that's changed from when I played and I first came in the league. Nobody wanted to pitch on the top of the zone. Everybody had a sinker, keep the ball down, stay away from the middle of the plate. But I think you can be just as effective pitching up in the zone.
So you've noticed a change.
Yeah, it was almost looked down upon to pitch up. You know, nobody ever talked about that. Keep the ball down, keep it down and away, hard in, soft away. But Collins obviously had success pitching up in the zone. Sonny throws fastballs up in the zone. He hits all 4 quadrants of the plate, and that's why Sonny's so good.
And Sogard, with a good at bat, ends up with a 2-out walk.
Man, those pitches look really good to me.
Yeah, it is a very tight strike zone from Jeff Nelson. We noticed it in the very first inning.
And we talked about the framing by Conger. Usually this is a call that he gets. Set up on the inside part of the plate. The ball kind of runs away, but Sogard getting the call.
So top of the order in Burns, who walked, stole the base, scored a run in the first. And both pitchers throwing a lot of pitches in the first 2 innings. Burns slaps one foul.
You know, I'd like to see, this is a good situation for Eric to run. There's 2 outs. You know, if you get thrown at second, you still got Billy leading off the inning next inning. And if you do end up still in the base, you got a runner in scoring position. So this is a good chance, good opportunity right here to try to swipe it back.
Sogard, it's not like he can't do it. He's 6 for 7 in steal attempts. So 1-1 the count. 45 pitches are ready for Colin McHugh. Close, 2-1, so he's just not real sharp, although he does have a couple of strikeouts in this inning, but 3 walks.
Yeah, and you see Ty Waller going over there talking to Sogard, and that's the first base coach's job, to let you know what's going on. You look for little hints and their windup and their stretch, and gives you a good idea of when a good pitch to run is.
The fastball past Burns there.
The best I've ever seen is Dave McKay, and I had him in Arizona, and you know, he would just tell me as soon as I got to first base on the 3rd pitch of this at bat, still. Whatever it was, he was studying the pitcher and the patterns, and one of the smartest first base coaches that has ever put on a uniform.
So he wasn't down there just yelling back.
No. Oh no.
He was working.
No. You know, and you know, Albert Pujols has 100 stolen bases.
Sure.
You know, and Dave had him in St. Louis, and
good play.
I promise you, he had a lot to do with Pujols stealing 100 bags.
And Burns chased out of the strike zone, side retired. So when the inning's all said and done, Colin McHugh strikes out 3. So 2-0 A's after 2. Is in the game in left field, so Coco Crisp is out. Do not know if there's anything wrong with Coco. Well, there's got to be something wrong with him.
Yeah, usually when it's this early, that means there's an injury issue, and
so when we find out, we will pass it on. So that's a concern.
Let's hope he's okay.
So top of the order for the Astros: Altuve, Gomez, Correa here in the third. And Coco moving a little slow. What a play by Laurie. Gets up, throws, takes a hit away from Altuve, 1 out. He was playing right on the edge of the grass. So not a whole lot of time to think about it, just react.
Yeah, and this is tough with those guys that can lay down a bunt, but they also hit rockets down the third base line, and Brett having a reaction like a goalie, like a hockey goalie. Gets up, strong throw, under control, which is not always the case with Brett. Good play, athletic.
And here's Gomez, who takes first pitch outside. Gomez hit a fly ball to right field in the first. Outside, just a touch. Another close pitch. The close pitches are not going in favor of the pitchers today. That one does, and it's 2-1. Gomez 1 for 9 now in the series. So 3-1.
He's coming out of his shoes on right here if it's anywhere close to the zone.
And he missed outside. So a 1-out walk to Gomez. So that's the third walk for Jesse Chavez. 3 walks, 1 strikeout.
Now batting, number 1, Carlos.
And you can see Jesse just is not as sharp as we're accustomed to seeing, and he's obviously gone back and forth from bullpen to starter, and he's been in the rotation here for a few months, but kind of wonder if fatigue's kind of settling in. His stuff just isn't as sharp as it was.
First pitch right in there, first strike. Correa walked in the first inning. And keep an eye on Gomez. He's very fast.
Yeah, and if you lose a little zip on your fastball, location becomes a really big part of what you need to do to be successful.
So now 0-2. So Chavez jumps ahead.
Good changeup right there. Good arm action. Correa just pulled off of it, missed it.
Runner goes. Throw to second base. Not quite in time on a close play. Gomez with the stolen base. He's wondering if it's worth taking a look at.
Good throw by Steven. Carlos had a really good jump. 0-2 is a good count. Sometimes the pitcher forgets about you. He's either going to bounce the ball in the dirt, or he's not too concerned about the runner in an 0-2 count. So I always like that count to steal in. And he got in there definitely.
So the stolen base for Gomez puts a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, I think this is where the Astros as a whole have been pretty happy with Correa, and that 2-strike approach for a 20-year-old to have that and be calm. He's definitely a very mature 20-year-old, that's for sure.
Tries to hold up, can't do it, and that's a strikeout for Jesse Chavez, and a big one.
Right on cue.
Strikeout number 2.
You can look like Sonny Gray and Eric Sogard with your very own Striped Socks backpack, presented by Chevron Techron Advantage Credit Card. On Monday, September 7th, 15,000 fans will receive the stylish backpack modeled after preferred footwear of Sonny and Sogard. Get your Labor Day tickets now at athletics.com/tickets or by calling 877-493-BALL.
So Rasmus steps up with 2 outs and a runner at second. Swing and a miss. Rasmus grounded out to second back in the first inning, hitting in the cleanup spot today. He's 1 for 9 in the series.
Yeah, with this whole lineup, you really have a bunch of interchangeable parts. I mean, you could even hit Chris Carter fourth, Gaddis fourth. You can definitely move these guys up and down the lineup. Nice little luxury for AJ to have.
So Jed Lowry, the first couple games of this series. Sneaking in is Simeon, so Gomez has to dive back. So Simeon playing right behind second base.
Gomez is out there far too. He's going.
A little flare. Fold coming in. Should get there, and he does. Side retired. So Jesse Chavez works out of a little jam. Runner stranded at second. Bottom of the third coming up. 2-0 A's. He was born in Naperville, Illinois, originally with the Mets. Claimed by the Astros off waivers from the Rockies. Pretty good move there by the Astros. And his rookie season was a good one. He won 11 games. 24 wins since 2014. That's the 7th most in the American League. So he snuck up on everybody a little bit last year. Not so much this year. You got Keuchel and you got McHugh, and now you got Kazmir. You got Fears, who we'll see tomorrow. Feldman, a couple of veterans, so pretty good starting rotation for the Astros. Keuchel and McHugh both with 13 wins. Along with Felix Hernandez. Those three guys are the only 13-game winners in the American League. Here's your breakdown. He actually throws a slider more than a fastball, which you don't see that very often.
No, that's tough as a hitter right there to gauge in on something. You just gotta look for anything.
Sam Fold hits a high pop up to shallow right. Rasmus grabs it. So Sam Fold, who is in the game for Coco Crisp, who left last inning. We still have not got a report on Coco. We'll pass it on when we do get one.
Right fielder, number 22.
You got to give credit to the Astros organization too on that. You got Keiko, a 7th round pick. McHugh, he was a 18th round pick, and they're getting with these guys and they're seeing something good. And with the spin rate of McHugh, the analytics team wanted to pick him up and have really turned him into a good pitcher.
Well, don't forget about Lance McCullers, the young man who's made his major league debut against the A's. He's pitched well. They sent him down to the minor leagues, I think maybe for rest more than anything.
Yeah, definitely for rest. He might have the best stuff out of all of them.
Gomez comes in. There a couple years ago, Mark Appel from Stanford, the 1st overall pick in the draft. He's starting to pitch better. Minor league system for the Astros. So they have high hopes for him. After all, he was a former 1st round draft pick. So check out the throwback uniforms. And those are serious throwback uniforms. The Aces.
Wow, the whole party. You got the top hat.
Yeah. That's a very nice effort. So Valencia with the big hit in the game so far. 2-run double to right center field. So a home run last night. 2-run double today. And he lines that one to right. He's got another hit. Got a fastball that was up. And he was able to get on top of it, and he's got 2 hits.
Yeah, this is when you know you're hot. It's an 0-2 pitch. He puts it right where he wants it, up out of the zone, and he's putting really good swings on balls right now, using the whole field. Looks very comfortable, making a pretty good impression with his new teammates. It's got to be a good feeling for him to come to a new team and produce right away.
A couple of hits now for the A's. Here's Vogt. Vogt hit a pop up to the second baseman. That was back in the 1st. Vogt 1 for 5 in the series now. Saw a breaking ball and had a good swing at it. I think he got a good look at that one. So 1-1 the count. See this quite a bit actually. Astros playing Vogt to pull on the infield, but to hit the ball the other way in the outfield. Short lead at first by Valencia. Miss, and count 2-2. Stephen Vogt, even with the home run in this series, still struggling. He's 3 for his last 39, so trying to get something rolling. Valencia, I think he may have been running. He just kind of walked out to a decent lead and then took a step towards second, and McHugh stepped off and threw over there. Out in front.
Yeah, it's amazing as a hitter. You can just lose that rhythm, and you're late on the fastball. You're out front on the curveball. It can be a pretty frustrating as a hitter. Timing is everything, and a couple hits here and there get him back going good.
So the count is full. That'll get Valencia moving. So Carter will play behind Valencia.
And I think when you are struggling, I think the best thing to do as a hitter is think small. Think singles. Don't worry about doing damage. You find your swing, and then you can start letting it fly.
Popped up foul. As it usually happens, the person that doesn't jump around, the ball usually rolls right to him on the foul. Gentleman was working hard for it, and the lady was just sitting there, and she just picked it up. Runner goes, high fastball, and Vogt went after it. He missed it, side retired. A hit and a runner left for the A's, and we're on to the 4th inning. A's 2, Astros nothing. By Play Flag Football. Register your child today at playflagfootball.com. The Oakland estuary on a beautiful day. So the ballpark, maybe not the only great place to be today. Your bachelorette party having a good time. See that occasionally here at the HOU at OAK Coliseum. Let's see Chavez nursing the 2-0 lead as he faces Gaddis, Tucker, and Valbuena.
Speaking of football, my oldest son Diego had his first tryouts for real football.
Really?
Helmet football.
With the
pad football.
pads on?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Went well.
Fold back. Just enough room, makes the catch. Well, that's a big step.
Big step. Yeah.
Flag football is one thing.
Yeah, and you know, even when those kids were playing flag football, they were tackling each other too. So I said, I'd might as well have you in pads, son.
Tucker.
How does mom feel about that?
Good.
All right.
Yeah. I have a lot more fun watching them play football than baseball for some reason.
Well, I would guess that, was he 10?
10.
My guy is 10 as well. He's trying to make that decision whether he wants to do the tackle route. Yeah. Flag football's fine.
I'd rather have him do it early than later.
It's right. Find out early if you like it or not.
Yeah.
And you will find out early whether you like it.
Your first tackle.
Down the right field line. Reddick cannot quite get it. So Josh had to run a long way, just could not quite get there. The 1-1 the count to Preston Tucker.
Yeah, and there's a little breeze kind of blowing from left to right there, and it just drifted out of Josh's reach.
And that one's hit to right field, and that's hit deep. And that one is gone. Preston Tucker with home run number 11, and it's 2-1. They are dangerous.
This is what they do up and down the lineup, and you know they've got different guys that can do some damage, and he's a good young hitter. Looked like he got a hanging breaking ball, and it was. Stayed back, saw it early, got good extension, stayed on it just long enough to hit it out of here.
Tucker, one of those young group of players that the Astros like a lot, just 24 years old. And there's a shot, right field corner, fair. One hops the wall. Reddick gets to it quickly. His throw to second base. There, tag, and the ball pops out of Simeon's glove.
Great play by Josh.
Double.
Great play. Good arm. Got to it quickly. We talked about Valbuena, though, staying away from him, trying to stay away from the inside part of the plate. He's really quick. He's looking in there right now. He didn't miss that fastball in. Josh plays the carom right to him. Good strong arm. Would have had him by a mile. Marcus just not able to hold on to it.
Chris Carter.
So the 1-out double, and here's Chris Carter. Carter tries to hold up, and he can't do it.
Yeah, and it looked like Marcus was just trying to make the tag before he had the ball, and the ball's got to be in the mitt first before the tag. See the ball all the way in and then make the tag.
Missed outside, 1-1 the count. Carter had a base hit in the second inning, a line drive to center field. And that one is ripped to left. Full back, reaches up, makes the catch. Maybe the hardest hit ball of the day. And it goes for an out.
Yeah, that was a good sound off of his bat. Chris swinging the bat good today. He's been in and out of the lineup, trying to get some consistency. Fastball middle in. Head down. Puts a good swing on it. Good play by Sam.
So 2 outs, and here's Conger. This pitch to Conger is hit hard, and it's foul. Not by much.
Yeah,
well, that was close.
Yeah, it looked like it turned right before the bag. Had some side spin to it.
Valbuena is the runner at second. The Preston Tucker home run has got the Astros on the board here in the fourth. Strike, and it's 0-2. Conger hit into a 4-6-3 double play, and that ended the second inning. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Conger could not pull the trigger. Side retired. A home run for Tucker. We're going to the bottom of the fourth. It's the A's 2 and the Astros 1.
celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
There's the giveaway today, the White Spikes t-shirt, one of our favorites. So a good giveaway today, as most of the giveaways are here at Coliseum. But I like that one, a little extra special.
Very bright t-shirt.
You can see him throughout the stands. Laurie Davis and Simeon here in the bottom of the fourth inning. It's a 2-1 game. 0-2 to Laurie, who grounded out to the third baseman to end the first inning. There's the t-shirt. 67 pitches for Colin McHugh in 3+ innings. Again, foul. Said sometimes you don't chase the foul ball around. See, the guy was chasing it. She just sat there, fell right into her lap.
Let it come to you.
It's like racquetball, right? You don't want to chase the ball around when you're playing racquetball.
Let it come to you.
Stay in a spot. Setting up outside. Well off the plate. 2-2 the count. A's with a couple of hits. Astros with 4 hits. And again fouled right side. Pretty good swing by Laurie. See, never moved. Two, another foul ball. Good battle here. Looks like Laurie's getting some pitches to hit, Eric. What? One was up. How many times do I got to tell you, Eric, don't move. The ball will come to you. Strike 3 called, so a good at bat, but unfortunately Laurie could not pull the trigger on the final pitch.
Yeah, and this, when it's 2 strikes like that and he throws a fastball right down the middle, you're guessing, you're outguessing yourself, and you're looking for something else. And 2 strikes, like I said, stay on the fastball, adjust to the curveball. If he throws a good curveball, you tip your hat. But you got to be ready for that fastball.
So 5 strikeouts from McHugh, and with 1 out, he'll face Ike Davis. Got home last night, looked at my phone, and I saw where the Astros made a trade.
Yep.
They acquired Oliver Perez from the Arizona Diamondbacks late last night.
Yeah, we talked about their bullpen. Tony Sipp was the lone lefty.
Not anymore.
Not really your prototypical left-handed specialist either, but Perez is definitely the one.
He's a pretty good reliever.
Really good reliever. He's had the last 2 years in Arizona has been really, really effective and pitched really well. It's a good pickup for the Astros.
Left-handed hitters hitting 183 against Oliver Perez, and that's why the Astros got it. Ike Davis not happy, and that is a very low strike. So Ike's got a legitimate beef that time. So instead of 2-1, it's 1-2. Little pop-up. Boina near the coach's box grabs it. So that's the second out here in the 4th inning. Semien will hit. But Oliver Perez is not supposed to get here today. He's supposed to join the team tomorrow. So Astros will get that second left-hander in their bullpen tomorrow. Oliver Perez. That's a pretty good pickup, I think. Remember, the Astros will stay in the Bay Area. They will have an off day on Monday and play the Giants Tuesday, Wednesday. So they will have Perez ready for that. 1-0 to Semien, who struck out in the second inning. Big curve is low, 2-0. Pitch is driven right center field. Rasmus on the move, can't get it. Up against the wall, and Semien to second. He'll stop there with a 2-out double. So Marcus Semien's been a hot hitter, and boy, you see a guy drive a ball to right center field like that on a pitch that's away. Not surprised he's a hot hitter.
Yeah, down and away too, and that's a sweet spot. Anything middle down. He's got a real nice swing, drops the barrel on it, keeps the head down, showing good power to the opposite field. Really locked in right now, making strides at short. And we talked about, the errors or whatever, but you just want to see improvement from him, and I think you've seen it. You've seen a consistent at bat, and he's starting to make the routine play consistently. So a lot of good things going on with Marcus right now.
First pitch to Sogard, strike on the outside corner. Sogard walked in the second inning. Chance for the A's to add on to their 2-1 lead. Few tries outside again, misses this time. Outfield pretty shallow. On the ground, Altuve, who scoops, flips, side retired. So the A's get a 2-out double from Semien, cannot get him home, and we're on to the fifth. A's 2, Astros 1. I'll see him on a beautiful day. And Jesse Chavez back to work.
So far the Sox have worked for him.
So far. And he's got the top of the order to face Altuve, Gomez, and Correa. Altuve has singled and grounded out. His ground out in the third was actually a very nice play by Laurie. Took a hit away from him, maybe a double. Three and 0. Three walks, 3 strikeouts for Jesse Chavez. 66 pitches so far. Altuve taken all the way. Pop up. Davis. Foul territory, so a fastball that got in a little bit on Jose Altuve, so good pitch. 1 out. As promised, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to CSNCA Data Strong fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's all brought to you by T-Mobile. Josh DeMello from Concord sends us that picture, and that's a good one. Carlos Gomez pulled off just a little bit. Fly out to right and a walk. And a quick 0-2. Rangers are leading the Mariners 1-0 in the 4th inning up in Seattle. Oliver Perez for Texas, Mike Montgomery for Seattle. Foul back. Seattle won last night 4-3. Nelson Cruz with a home run. Cano with a home run. So day baseball up in Seattle. Orioles and the Angels will play a little bit later on. Jimenez for Baltimore. Richards for the Angels. Angels won last night. Mike Trout, another home run. His 33rd of the year. He leads the major leagues in home runs.
On his birthday.
He did it on his birthday. That's right.
Gift to himself.
More action for Ike Davis. And he's got it. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. As the A's throw the ball around, it got away from Laurie, rolls over near the dugout.
Now batting, number 1, Carlos Correa.
So Carlos Correa now steps up. 2 outs, nobody aboard. All the other games are night games around Major League Baseball. Grounded, just foul as Laurie backhands it in foul territory. I mentioned that Oliver Perez trade. There was a trade this morning. A guy we know a little bit, Cliff Pennington, was traded to the Toronto Blue Jays from the Arizona Diamondbacks. So the Jays get a little middle infield help with Cliff Pennington, a switch hitter.
Yeah, and reliable glove, good arm, good teammate. Good little player. Knows his role, knows he's the backup. Doesn't complain about not playing for a week. Professional.
If Cliff Pennington was your backup middle infielder, you'd be all right. Because he is still a quality player. 2-2 now to Correa, who's walked and struck out. 3 for 9 in the series. Playing in just his 53rd major league game. Close pitch, 3-2. Good idea by Jesse Chavez, keeping that off-speed pitch away. Try it again. And a fastball away, just a little bit down as well. So 2-out walk. 4 walks now for Jesse. So he's at 79 pitches. .21 in the first. Want to put him behind a little bit. Colby Rasmus, his third at bat, a ground out to second and a fly ball to left field. 1 for 10 in the series. And now he's sitting on a 2-0 count.
Yeah, and this is dangerous count right here. Good fastball hitter. If I was Jesse, I'd try to stay away, maybe backdoor cutter. I mean, these guys, when they get in good counts, and even when the count is even, they're looking to get the head out. You know, batting average is obviously not too big of a concern, but they do have a whole lineup that's hitting the ball out of the park.
And now 3-0. Chavez got the first 2 outs really quickly.
I think for AJ, you green light him right here. If he pipes one, go ahead and take a good rip at it.
And he does, and it's off the tip of the glove of Simeon. A line drive right up the middle. So it was a 3-0 pitch, and Rasmus did get the green light.
Yeah, that's part of the aggressive nature of these whole Astros. Their manager, AJ Hinch, wanting them to be aggressive, make mistakes on the aggressive side of the game. Have trust in your hitters. In a 3-0 count, he's going to swing at a strike. He did miss it. Marcus gave it a nice little effort just on the outreach of his glove.
And the phone is ringing down in the bullpen. So they're starting to move around a little bit. Abad pulling off the jacket.
Number 11, Evan Gattis.
So Gattis will hit. Correa at second, Rasmus at first for the dangerous Evan Gattis, who has grounded to short and hit a fly ball to left field. Broken bat. Simeon scoops, throws the second side, retired. Jesse Chavez gets out of another jam. So the Astros have stranded 7 through the first 5 innings. Bottom of the 5th coming up. A's with a 2-1 lead.
to refurbish 2 sports fields for the 2015 baseball and softball season. Fields at Hayward High School and San Lorenzo Little League Complex were refurbished as part of the Energize Your Field program presented by PG&E. To nominate your field to be refurbished, go to athletics.com/energizeyourfield. Energize your field with the A's, the Good Tidings Foundation, and PG&E.
So top of the order for the A's here in the 5th. Burns check swing. It's it fouled down the left field line. Full to follow, and then Reddick against Colin McHugh. McHugh had a rough first inning, but he's been good since then, although he is yet to have a 3-up, 3-down. And that's why the pitch count is pretty high for McHugh. He's now at 85 here in the 5th inning. Trying to win his 5th consecutive start. Tucker backs up and then reaches up right at the last second, and he's got it. So 1 away. There's the Comcast group. Our president Ted Griggs with the A's plastic helmet on.
Now batting left fielder.
He loves that helmet. Ahmed Fareed, one of our great anchors from the studio. CSN. Nice little day at the ballpark today. And they're seeing a pretty good ball game with very nice weather. Strike to Sample, 1-1 the count.
It's amazing, no matter how much the cloud cover is here, come game time, it separates and the skies open up.
Nice breeze today. A's with both their runs in the first inning on Valencia's 2-run double. Not close. 3-1. There's the run support numbers for Colin McHugh, and he's had a lot of it this year. Not so much today. So one of the reasons that, plus, well, he's a pretty good pitcher. He's got 13 wins, but his ERA is a little bit over 4. Still take the wins
every day.
I said, what would you rather do, win 5-4 or lose 1-0?
Exactly. That's why we play this game, for the W's.
Yeah. 3-2 pitch to Full. Hit again toward Tucker, who was playing close to the line. He's got it, and that's out number 2.
We've had a lot of putouts to F7 the last 3 days.
Shallow putouts.
Shallow putouts, yes.
Now batting right fielder, 22, Josh.
There's the pitches by inning for McHugh. First inning got him as well, 27. So Reddick hits with 2 outs. He's hit a couple of fly balls today, 1 to left, 1 to center, and he takes the first pitch strike.
Yeah, and you can see why he's so tough. I mean, he can run the sinker down and away. You can throw the cutter in on your hands, throw that curveball for a strike, or bounce it for a strikeout.
Right center, no one's going to get it. And that's going to roll to the wall. Reddick will hit the bag at second. He'll stop there, and it's 2-out double. Second inning in a row, the A's have got a 2-out double.
It's a good swing by Josh. Little changeup right there. That's his 4th best pitch. Leaves it right over the middle of the plate, and Josh does what you're supposed to do with that pitch. Drives it into the gap. Stand-up double.
So Valencia will have another RBI opportunity. Came through in the first with the 2-run double. Valencia also singled in the third. So he's 5 for 10 as an athletic so far. Swing and a miss on a big overhand curve.
It's a fastball away, drives it into the gap, scores 2. The A's hottest hitter right now. Got the right man up right now.
Comes after that high fastball. Josh Fields gets up. He was up a couple times last night, never got in the game. And a breaking ball, and Valencia swings and misses. Side retired. So Reddick stranded at second after the double, and we're moving to the 6th inning. A's 2, Astros 1. California.com is our insider. Joe Stiglitz provides wire-to-wire reporting for this A's season. He's got breaking news, video, special features, and much, much more. Only on CSNCalifornia.com. Still 2-1. A's lead. It's the top of the 6th inning. Preston Tucker, Luis Valbuena, Chris Carter. So power threats, although they have that throughout the lineup, do the Astros. Tucker homered in the 4th.
Yeah, and he did homer in the 4th, and it was a hanging curveball, and right away Jesse going 2 fastballs away.
One and 2 the count to Tucker. So Abad and Scribner warming up. Astros bullpen is quiet. Rolled slowly to Ike Davis, and Ike Davis takes it himself, 1 away. Jesse Chavez has not had a 3-up, 3-down inning in this ball game. This would be a good time to have.
Now batting, number 18.
Yeah, he was struggling early. He got a lot of action on the bases, but he's really settled in nicely. Mixed in his pitches, uses both sides of the plate. Just the one mistake to Tucker.
Valbuena goes after the first pitch, skies one, toward the A's bullpen. Fold. He's got it. 2 outs. Valbuena never left the box as he takes the slow walk back to the dugout.
Yeah, and Sam went a long way for this ball. He gets really good jumps, and he made that look really easy, and it wasn't that easy. Got the bullpen down there, foul line, security guard, bullpen catcher.
Possum. Although he's not out there. Here's Carter, first pitch strike. And that one very close. Little check swing by Carter. It's called the ball. So 1-1 the count. Carter a single and a line drive to left field. So he's 1 for 2. A change up that kind of grabs the outside corner. Chavez likes to use that pitch. So 93 pitches for Jesse Chavez. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Chris Carter. Strikeout number 4, and Chavez gets his first 3 up, 3 down inning. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Still 2-1 A's.
Valencia swinging a hot bat, the newly acquired Danny Valencia. Home run, single to right last night. Comes back with a big double, plates 2. And then the only mistake that Jesse's made today, hanging curveball to Preston Tucker, stays back just long enough, puts the barrel on it, hits it out to right field. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PICK-ATT, mobilizing your world.
Still 2-1. And Stephen Vogt will lead it off. Laurie to follow, and then Davis. Colin McHugh with 98 pitches through 5 innings. Tony Sipp, the left-hander, is like he's ready in the bullpen if needed. First pitch to Vogt is in for a strike. Vogt a foul or a pop out to second and a strikeout so far.
Yeah, and he kind of expanded the zone a little bit last at bat. Some pitches up out of the zone, and when you're struggling, you got to shrink that zone, and it's even more important to have a good strike zone when you're not swinging the bat well. But that's easy to say. I mean, as a hitter, when you don't feel good, you just want to keep swinging. You want to swing your way out of a slump, but sometimes taking more pitches, seeing the ball a little bit longer, and like I said, think small. Singles, get jammed, hit it the other way.
Stephen Vogt at this point is trying everything.
Everything. Socks and socks and all.
Yeah. 0-2 the count. Wanted a high pitch, and Vogt lays off. 1-2 the count. And they wanted another high fastball, and McHugh gave it to him, and this time Vogt swings and misses. So Stephen Vogt strikes out for the second time. And you can see the catcher calling for a high pitch.
Yeah, and he did, and Colin went right back up there again, just like he did last at bat. Stephen went for it, couldn't get it.
So 1 away for Laurie. As we mentioned earlier, the Jays beat the Yankees 6-0. Justin Smoak with a grand slam. Big blow in that game. Tulowitzki also homered. And David Price pitched well. 7 innings, 3 hits with 7 strikeouts. So David Price now 11-4 with a 2.35 ERA.
Yeah, he's going to be tough to beat the rest of the way out with that offense.
Remember, David Price has gotten knocked around by the Yankees.
A lot in New York, too.
Yeah. But not today. He pitched extremely well. Yankees all of a sudden struggling to score runs. They've scored 4 runs in their last 4 games. So the Blue Jays 7 in a row, and they've won 10 out of 11. 2.5 back. And 1 to Laurie. See what he gets in a hitter's count. And he lines one down the right field line, foul. Rangers and Mariners are now tied 3-3 in the 4th inning. Rangers 3.5 games behind the second wild card team, which at this point coming into today was the Jays. So they're in the race.
Where are they at in the division?
In the division, 5.5 behind these Astros.
And that's a number that's doable for them. You pick up Cole Hamels. You got a young team who's probably outperforming what their front office thought they would do, and but they obviously felt good about it, going out trading some of their good players in that farm system and getting an elite pitcher.
Rasmus in front of his bullpen, but it's out of play. And Mike Napoli now with the Rangers. That trade happened last night. And he's in the lineup today, so he didn't mess around. He said, I'm going to get to Seattle as quick as I can. So Mike Napoli is in the Rangers lineup today.
He's excited. Goes from a losing environment to a possible winning environment. Kind of a shot in the arm for him.
3-2 pitch and a fastball just a little up. And Laurie strikes out. So 8 strikeouts for Colin McHugh.
Yeah, and Colin's pretty much done what we talked about he was going to do. He likes to elevate that fastball. He's got very good arm actions, very smooth. Kind of confusing a little bit as a hitter. You think it's only going to come out about 89, jumps out about 92, 93, and when he spins that curveball for a strike, he's just really tough.
So 2 away for Davis. Davis goes after the first pitch, skies one. Valbuena, he's got room, but he cannot make the play. So we'll see if they give him an error. That is not an easy play. He ran a long ways. There's a little shift on for Davis.
No, and most of these fields, that's 12 rows deep. And, you know, you got to remember, as a left-handed hitter, the ball's always going to come back. So you don't have to take off full sprint. I know he went a long distance, but get under control, keep your eyes soft, and just know that ball's going to come back towards you.
You would know. You've been in that spot before.
Yeah, plenty of times.
The 0-1 pitch, fouled again. So now, Davis behind in the count, 0-2. HOU trying to finish strong. Pitch number 114 coming up. And it's in the dirt.
Yeah, we talked about his arm action. It's really fluid. It can be kind of deceiving for the hitter. He doesn't have a lot of arm whip in there. Just smooth, comes out pretty good.
That one is ripped down the right field line, and it is off the top of the wall. And Rasmus grabs it, fires it back in, and it's a long single.
Yeah, that's Ike doing homework right there. I meant he's been elevating that fastball with 2 strikes. Ike looked like he was really looking for that pitch right there. We talked about 2 strikes, looking for the fastball and adjusting to off speed. Rasmus with a good arm.
There you go from being a foot short of a home run, and then you get a single. Watch how close. So Semien hits. Well, with a left-handed hitter, Sogard, on deck, and a left-handed pitcher in the bullpen, this may be the final guy for Colin McHugh, no matter what happens.
Yes, I think you're correct. He's got a lot of pitches too.
This is a season high 117 pitches for McHugh, and he's done it in 5 2/3. So he's got 8 strikeouts, but he's pitched through a lot of traffic today. A little bit like Keuchel last night. Keuchel had a lot of base runners to deal with. So Sip has been down there for a while, and he is ready.
Sip can be more effective against righties because he's got a really good changeup. There's not a whole lot of deception for a left-handed hitter facing him. It's a comfortable at bat, but he makes good pitches. Got good location with his fastball.
Missed again, and now it's 3-0.
You know, I think those close pitches is why I think he's kind of struggled today. You know, he's trying to pitch for the corners, and Jeff's not giving him that call. And I think normally he's got a little bit better control than this.
Swinging on 3-0 is Marcus Semien. So now the count 3-1. Gentleman made a clean play. So pitch number 120. And here it is. Swing and a miss. And now 3-2. Davis will take off. Pitch is popped up to shallow right. Rasmus is there. And he's got it. Side retired, hit and a runner left for the A's. 7th inning coming up. A's 2, Astros 1. here. On this date in 2006, Mark DeRosa of the Rangers makes 2 outs on 1 pitch to end the game. DeRosa struck out swinging. His momentum causes contact to be made with Jason Kendall, the catcher. He was thrown to second. Batter interference called. A's win the game 7-6. Chavez, you were playing third base. Do you remember that play?
I don't remember that, no.
And as you can tell, it certainly looked like a good call. DeRosa felt completely over home plate, and that was it. 7-6, A's win. Final out of the game. It's double play, I guess. Huh?
Yeah.
Final 2 outs of the game. Conger swings at the first pitch, and he is retired.
Yeah, I think both these pitchers today didn't have their A stuff, but they've done a nice job of mixing their pitches and keeping their team in the ball game.
McHugh, he's done for the day. So Altuve hits. 1 for 3 today for Jose Altuve. 5 for 12 in the series. Recharges, and he can't come up with it, and Altuve's aboard. So the tying run on.
Yeah, and Altuve reaches out for, looks like a curveball. Not a very good pitch to swing at, but Lowry comes in, and maybe the eyes fluttering just a little bit. You got to be under control, see the ball all the way into your glove, and make a good strong throw, but just misses his pocket right there. I think a play Brett tell you he should make.
So it goes as a hit. So 2 hits for Altuve today. And here's Carlos Gomez. Be careful here. Anything could be on. Steal, hit and run. Seen Gomez play enough. He'd bump for a base hit here. He'll do anything.
Who knows what he's going to do. I want to sit with an official score one game and just listen to how they come up with a hit or an error and the logic behind it.
Well, there is some criteria that they have to follow.
But there's some gray area for
no question.
some judgment.
No question. Good swing there by Gomez. Fouls it to our right. So the count 0-2. Carlos Correa is in the on deck circle. So a big part of the lineup to get through for Jesse Chavez as he's about to throw pitch number 100, and bullpen is ready to go for the A's. Pomeranz, Rodriguez.
You don't have to throw a strike here. He'll expand the zone. He's very aggressive.
Takes a very close pitch. Run support been an issue for Jesse Chavez. He's had a couple games this year where he's gotten a ton of run support, but he'd like to spread that out a little bit.
Yeah, you look at his record, it's 5-11, but really the ERA tells you the story. It's much better than that. He's pitched really well with a 3.88. But there's always one guy in the rotation that wears it, man. There's one guy that gets all the runs, and then there's one guy who doesn't get any.
Yep. It always happens. Altuve not running. The ball's bounced. Sogard shovels to second for one. On to first. Not in time.
Yeah, and that ball wasn't hit hard enough for them to turn that. Gomez gets down the line good. He was out front, so his momentum was already taking him towards first base. And with his speed, there was no chance for them to turn 2.
Number 1, Carlos.
But they did make it close, though.
And a good call.
Yeah, Sogi, Simeon, good turn. Just too much speed.
So 2 outs now with speed at first. Here's Carlos Correa. Down and away. You see Chavez high pitch count this year is 110. Maybe close to that. Swing and a miss. Big hack by Correa. Correa's walked twice and struck out today. There's that changeup trying to grab the outside corner. Rasmus is the on-deck hitter. There are 2 outs. Center field playable for Burns. He's got it side retired. Another runner left. That's 8 stranded through 7 innings by the Astros. 7th inning stretch. It's 2-1. The A's lead. Has pitched extremely well today. And he's gonna, I would guess he's done for the afternoon. We will find out when it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and brake expert. So Tony Sipp, the left-hander, comes in. He pitched in game 1 of this series. Just 1 inning through 8 pitches.
The High Sox worked for Jesse.
They did.
Not so much for Steven. Yet.
That's right.
Yet.
We still got a couple innings. Chad Qualls, veteran right-hander, starts to throw. Corner infielders in for Eric Sogard, who has walked and grounded to second. Good pitch right there, and it's 0-2. Rangers and the Mariners still tied 3-3. That game now in the 5th inning. Altuve got the shades back on. Carlos Correa says, I don't need him. So you absolutely cannot miss a pop-up in the sun.
Well,
and that one off the glove of Valbuena.
And he's wearing his glasses too.
He wanted to do a slide that time, and he got a glove on it.
Yeah, and he did. He went a long way again. Made a good effort, just couldn't come down with it. But with the sunglasses and in the sun, I've never understood why, why people would get on guys for not wearing sunglasses, because regardless of what you do, if the ball's in the sun, whether you got glasses or not, you're not going to see the ball. So it takes away a little bit of the glare. But really, glasses just look cool. They don't really serve a purpose. I mean, the ball gets in the sun, there's nothing you can do.
0-2 to Sogard, and it's a slider down and away.
I could never play with Oakleys.
No,
I could never do it. I wore the flip downs.
Sure. Very few players wear flip downs nowadays. You just don't see it.
And I definitely never used them in the box.
Good pitch there by Sip. He gets the strikeout. That's 9 strikeouts for Astros pitchers today.
Yeah, and you can see why Sip's so good and so tough. I mean, he's got good location. He doesn't have overpowering stuff. He comes with a slider right here, throws it right at Sogard, and spins away from his bat, but he makes good pitches.
That's a good Astros bullpen. Added Oliver Perez.
And we talked about too, the good thing about Sip is he can get right-handers just as easily as lefties. He's got a good changeup right there.
So the changeup from a left-hander. It's a great pitch to throw to a right-handed hitter, right?
That's what he's been successful with, yes. But I really do think the addition of Oliver Perez really helps him out. I mean, Sip doesn't have the overpowering stuff. There's not a lot of guys in that bullpen that do. There's a couple. Will Harris has obviously thrown the ball really good this year. But this stretches out their bullpen. You can bring Sip in the 6th, 7th inning, and you still have another lefty later in the game. And I think that's going to be key for them moving forward.
One and one now to Burns, who has walked and scored. That was in the 1st, struck out in the 2nd, and hit a fly ball to left field in the 5th. Reach for that one, couldn't get it.
There's that good changeup. He just pulls a string on it. It's 3 in a row. Yeah, it's got good tumbling action. It's just been a really good pitch for him.
There it is again, and this one taken bent around the plate, so the count 2-2 to Burns with Sam Fuld waiting in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, that.
It's going to be Pomeranz for the A's in the 8th.
That pitch tumbled like a split finger. I wonder what his grip is. I don't know if he's got a split grip or a 4-fingered changeup he just turns over.
And there he just went with a fastball. So changeups and then a fastball, yeah. And all of a sudden 91 looks like 95.
Exactly. And this is why he's been so successful. He knows how to pitch, has good location.
Now 5 of the last 7 A's hitters have struck out. And now 2 outs for Fuld. Fuld came into the game in the 3rd inning. Coco Crisp had one at bat. Coco walked and scored in the first inning. But then Coco left the game. And the report we got is he just wasn't feeling good. Illness is what was passed on to us. So we hope Coco's feeling better. That slider to full. He lays off. 1-1 to count. Fold has hit a fly ball to right field and a fly ball to left field. Missed outside. 2-1.
And we talked about left-handed specialist and deception, and Oliver Perez is very much a left-handed specialist. He throws from every angle. They'll quick pitch you. Sip is pretty much straight over the top. He's got nothing to make you flinch.
And a fastball right on the outside corner.
But he sure can't put that ball exactly where he wants it. Conger taking a look at Sammy, trying to read his eyes.
Went with a fastball again, 91 miles an hour. Looks like it could be a sneaky 90-91 though.
Yeah, especially with all the off-speed pitches he throws up there. It's straight. You know, it looks like these catchers are really in sync with their pitchers. I mean, when that flow gets going, you know what the guy wants to throw, and as a pitcher, you know what the catcher's going to catch. You never have to shake them off.
It's a slider at 80 miles an hour rolled into the Astros dugout.
Pretty good staff they're putting together.
Yep.
Feldman doesn't have the stuff he did when he was younger, but he still knows how to pitch.
Scott Kazmir beardless, so at least from a facial hair standpoint, not fitting in with that group.
And we'll see Fires tomorrow, and he's got a lot of deception.
Yep.
And a lot of funk.
Big, tall right-hander. So good battle here between Sip and Full.
You know, Fires in that trade is a kind of an under-the-radar move, but really good move.
So full count to Sam Full, trying to get aboard. Outfield shallow. Foul to the screen as the battle continues. In the top of the 8th inning, the Astros will send Rasmus, Gaddis, and Tucker to the mound. A couple of left-handers in that group of 3. And it looks like Pomeranz is going to be the guy. Another 3-2. Here it is. It's hit hard, but right to Altuve. Side retired. So that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Tony Sip. 8th inning coming up from the Coliseum. A's hanging on to a 2-1 lead. It's the third meeting of the season between the Quakes and the Houston Dynamos. Home of the authentic Earthquakes fan is CSN. So that's coming up again tonight at 6 o'clock. Here at the Coliseum, it's a 2-1 A's lead over the Astros, top of the 8th inning. And it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. It's your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts as Drew Pomeranz comes in out of the bullpen. So the A's bullpen needs to get 6 outs. First pitch to Colby Rasmus. Breaking ball that stays a little high. Jesse Chavez. Very nice outing. 6 hits, just the 1 run, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, and he finished with 106 pitches. Rasmus had a good swing. Rasmus had a single back in the 5th inning. So he's 1 for 3 today and 2 for 11 in the series. Rodriguez warming up.
Yeah, let's get Jesse a W. He's really worked hard today and he's thrown the ball well. Not a lot of run support throughout the year.
Rasmus now behind in the count.
You know, they say wins don't matter, but they matter to the pitchers. They take pride in that stuff. The team wins on the day they go out there.
And a fastball right by Rasmus, no chance, and that's a strikeout number 5 for A's pitchers.
Yeah, Drew just kind of comes right at him with a fastball, middle away, throws it right by him. He's got a good live fastball. He's got a good curveball. Like to see him being aggressive.
So that'll bring up Gaddis. Curve snaps in there for a strike to Gaddis. That's Marwin Gonzalez, who's a switch hitter. He will hit for Preston Tucker. And it's 0-2. Pomeranz sharp out of the bullpen.
There's like that knuckle curve. It's a very good curveball. Back-to-back curveballs right there.
Another curveball hit to right field, but Reddick's coming in, and he's got it. So Evan Gaddis is retired. He's 0 for 11 in this series. So a good guy to keep quiet.
Yeah, and that was not the 0-2 curveball that Drew was looking for. He kind of left it up a little bit, but he got away with it.
Your attention, please, ladies and
so with 2 outs, here is the pinch hitter Marwin Gonzalez.
Preston Tucker, number 9, Marwin Gonzalez.
7 home runs, 22 RBIs for Gonzalez. From the right side, he's hitting .302. From the left side, .241.
You know, if Drew gets this out in a clean inning, do you send him back out there?
Maybe. Valbuena would be next, but there's a pinch hitter. Lowry has come out. So 2-0 now to Marwin Gonzalez. So again, that's Valbuena's spot. Valbuena, strictly a left-handed hitter. Tucker, well, he was in there, homered in the 4th inning, the only run for the Astros. 2-0 pitch. Gonzalez thought it was inside. It's called a strike.
Fastball in, gets enough of the plate.
Gonzalez wants time as Pomeranz was ready. Six hits for the Astros, 5 for the A's. There has not been an error in the game. There's a shot. Davis grabs it. Line drive out. 3 up, 3 down inning for Drew Pomeranz. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 2-1 A's lead.
Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Here's our game summary for today, brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 1-6-0 for the Astros, 2-5-0 for the Athletics. Both starters were good today. Jesse Chavez just a little bit better. He's got a big 2-run double from Valencia in the very first inning. So that's been enough so far, as it's the bottom of the 8th. Reddick facing Tony Sipp, swings at the first pitch and misses. So Marwin Gonzalez stays in the game out in left field. Fastball is high. Edward Mahika just now starting to throw. We'll see what Bob Melvin does. Another fastball high.
A's really need to tack on a run right here.
Reddick has a double that came in the 5th inning, 1 for 3. And he blasts one to right center, hit very high and deep. Gomez at the wall, and he's got it. Leaped up, banged into the wall. But by the looks of it, had a pretty good beat on it the whole way.
Yeah, Josh had a good swing at that too. He saw that curveball kind of hung. Let's see if it was a slider. That was that slider. He saw it good, waited back, put a good swing on it, just missed it. But Gomez playing in opposite field and goes a long way.
So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. It's your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. Chad Qualls coming in. Tony Sipp retired all 4 hitters that he faced.
22nd. All are encouraged to wear your Star Wars costumes and enjoy the post-game show from the outfield grass, though space is limited. Purchase a special ticket package to receive an R2-D2 beanie. Visit athletics.com/Star Wars for more information.
So with the right-handed hitting Valencia stepping in, Chad Qualls comes in. Qualls pitched in game 1 of this series, just like Sip did. And the first pitch runs into Valencia, who has doubled, singled, struck out. His double in the first knocked in a pair. Qualls appearing in game number 40 at 4 saves. Valencia rips one to right field. Rasmus reaches, makes the catch, 2 away. So Stephen Vogt will stride to the plate.
Now batting, the catcher, number 21.
So in that 9th inning, top of the 9th, the Astros will have Valbuena, Carter, and Conger. Those are your 3 scheduled hitters. Paul Morantz is currently the pitcher, with Mejica warming up.
Yeah, I think as good as Drew looked, you'd run him out there for one more inning. See if he can get 3 outs, close this game.
To left field, and Gonzalez is there. So it's a 3-up, 3-down inning. And 9th inning's coming up. A's hanging on to a 2-1 lead. See if they can close it out. So the A's 3 outs away from back-to-back wins over the Astros. Well, that's a good pitching again tonight. We'll see if the A's can close it out. 2-1, top of the 9th, and Jed Lowry is going to be the pinch hitter. He's going to hit for Valbuena. We sort of figured that this would happen. Lowry being a switch hitter. Chris Carter to follow, and then after Carter, it's another switch hitter, Hank Conger. Mejica, the right-hander, is ready out in the bullpen. First pitch to Lowry is a strike call.
And when Drew gets that big curveball over for a strike, it makes this at bat really tough. He's got a good live fastball to go with it.
Pomeranz had a 3-up, 3-down, 8th inning with a strikeout. Big curve again, but it stays high. So 2-1. Interesting spot in the lineup as well for the Astros. In the A's, you just don't want to turn the lineup over, because then you get to Altuve. Now we got jammed. Good pitch by Pomeranz. A fastball that just kept running in, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, after throwing 2 breaking balls early, comes in with that fastball. He likes throwing that glove side fastball in on righties. He's got good control of it. See if he goes back to the curveball. Nope, he's going back in with a fastball.
And it's not close. So now it's a full count. It's interesting. He likes that curveball, but would he throw it on 3-2? Nope. Right to the heater. Trying to get inside. And he did get in there again. It's popped up. So a full count.
You know, this is why that first game of the series was so big. They could be looking at their 6th loss in a row, all on the road, if they didn't win that first game of the series.
And he walked in with a fastball up and away on 3-2. So the tying run is aboard. Bob Melvin out of the dugout. So he has made the call to Edward Mujica with the tying run at first and nobody out. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. It's your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. The game, it's the starting pitcher Jesse Chavez, who has been struggling as of late, but not today. 7 innings, gave up just 1 run, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, 106 pitches, and it was good to see Jesse Chavez have a good outing. And now it would be even better to see him get a win. So Jake Marisnick is the pinch runner, and Edward Mujica is the pitcher, looking for his first save as an Athletic. He's going to have to work for it as he faces Chris Carter with Marisnick, a very fast runner. Pinch running for Lowry. First pitch to Carter, up and in. Chris Carter is 1 for 3, a single, a line out, and a strikeout.
I think Mojica wants to stay down on the way right here, get Chris to roll over. He's turning a double play. Close pick at first.
Yeah, or you just pick him off.
Good quick move by Mojica, but Marisnick back in there.
So 1-0 the count to Carter. Outfield very deep. And Carter hits one to left field. Full back. He's near the wall and he's got just enough room and he makes the catch. It was a scary moment, but it did not look like Carter really got the good click to it.
Yeah, I think the A's lucked out right here, though. It was a good pitch to hit. He was trying to go down in a way. It runs over the middle of the plate. Chris puts a good swing on it, and I think you're right. He just didn't barrel it up just enough. That's a homer in Houston, though.
Yes, it is. So with 1 out, Hank Conger steps in. Conger is 0 for 3. He does have 8 home runs on the year. Pitch out, nothing going on. Altuve is in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, this is the guy Mojica wants right here. You don't want Altuve up there with a man in scoring position. Conger's rolled over a couple balls today, so something down, running away, get him to try to pull it.
Marisnick with a good lead. First pitch is low. Marisnick has 14 steals, so you keep that in the back of your mind. Simeon, the shortstop, playing right up the middle. Marisnick runs, and he'll make a head-first slide without a throw. They called the balk, did they? Marisnick staying at second base.
They called that a balk?
They did.
I don't know about that. I don't like that call right there.
So it's called the balk. He was running on the play. So he ends up at second base. And the count is 2-0. So now it's very interesting. And there's strike 2-1.
Yeah, I don't know if Jeff thought he didn't set long enough, but that looked fine to me.
It was hard to really see anything that could have been a balk. Conger popped it up, and it should reach the seats. Coming back a little bit, but not enough. So 2-2 the count. Yeah, 3 good ball games this weekend, all tight. Down to the last inning.
A's just got to find a way to win these games.
Two pitch, and Conger had a good swing at a hittable pitch.
Little fastball up in the zone, just under it. Got a good look at it, good swing. Knew he missed it.
The 2 pitches hit to center. Burns underneath it, He's got it, and that's the second out. Marisnick will hustle the third, and he'll make it there. So Conger hit that ball fairly well, but into the glove of Billy Burns. 2 outs here in the 9th inning. And we should have known it would come up to Jose Altuve.
Yeah, and I think they really got to consider walking him. You know, Gomez hasn't looked as good at the plate as Altuve has. Obviously, Altuve's aggressive. He's been swinging at a lot of pitches, but the guy just gets knocks, man. And I think you can get Gomez to expand the zone a little bit. So let's see what happens here. Maybe you try to get him to chase early, and if he doesn't, after 2 pitches, maybe you put him on.
Altuve is 6 for 13 in the series. First pitch is hit to Laurie, who scoops it up, throws to first, and that's the ball game. Mahika gets his first save as an Athletic, and Jesse Chavez gets a well-deserved win. And the A's have beat the Astros 2 games in a row. 2 hours and 51 minutes is the time of game in front of 25,091, and they saw a very good ball game this afternoon. And they see the Oakland A's win it over the Houston Astros. A's will try to win the series tomorrow afternoon. So final score, the Athletics 2 and the Astros 1. You've been watching A's baseball on CSN California, part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's postgame live with Brody Brazil and Carney Lansford starts right now.